What's up, guys? PDC here. World Cup game. Reiku versus d0nut. d0nut is on Midwest, a team I learned existed only today. And Reiku is on Spain, M-Dragon Land. They both have Zapdos lead. What could these teams be? I don't know. Oh god, he has Discharge, and there's T-Bolt. Both these are going to have leftovers, and both of these appear to be probably somewhat defensive. If that Zapdos was offensive on Reiku's side, first of all, it's slow as hell, so I'm assuming this is a bulky Zapdos, both of them. So this means they might have decided to either heavy balance or stall each other. It really depends. d0nut might literally be going, I'm just going to call him d0nut. d0nut might be going for the Parastall tactic. At least that's what it appears to be, because if you have Discharge Zapdos, I mean, oh my god, he has Discharge and he got Para before. Wow, that's not good for him. But yeah, it looks like these are both defensive Zapdos. I assume they both have Roar. Or Roost. They might have Roar. We see a U-turn from Reiku out to a Swampert, and there's a Toxic, which is a good play from d0nut. Getting Swampert poisoned. I don't know what set this thing is. It might just be setting up rocks, and I might have calced wrong, and that might not even be a defensive Zapdos. But it's slow, so I would assume it probably has to be. But being T-Bolt, U-turn, Roost, I guess his last move is Heat Wave. If it has U-turn, there might be a chance it has Dugtrio. So that's a pretty big possibility here. We're going to see what Reiku's response to the Starmie is here. I assume this is a bulky knee, because if you have bulky Zapdos, low chance you're going to be running something super offensive on a... Yep, there it is. There's the Heat Wave. And there's the Para. So this is a full Para team. We're going to probably see Machamp, probably a CB-Tar, or it could be a Stealth Rock T-Tar. Machamp, CB-Tar, Jirachi, and last could be... What is the standard team for this? Breloom is an option, because Breloom certainly likes Paralysis. There we see the T-Tar, and he goes to Scizor. Depending on the T-Tar set, d0nut probably wants to switch, no matter what. That's I don't think I would stay in here if I was d0nut, but this Scizor is certainly going to be a rough opponent, because for one, if it's like Scarf, which I don't know why, but this is the second Scizor I've seen today, which is actually, I don't know why the image is broken. It's been like this forever. But if this is Scarf, we'll see right here what set it is. He goes for a U-turn, 29. That could be either Scarf or a bulky SD with U-turn. Probably going to be leaning more on the bulky SD, but he goes for the U-turn. The T-Tar is probably slow, and I don't think d0nut will want to risk it anyway. We see Rocks up on d0nut's side. Reiku has a Dugtrio, which, yeah, looks like that might be Scarfzor. Might be. But I predicted Dugtrio at the beginning of the game. Because it would make sense if Zapdos has U-turn and it's bulky. And he's going to kill the Jirachi. And knowing d0nut's team, there's a good chance. First of all, T-Tar is now going to be trapped by Dugtrio. I don't know what his other last mon is. It could be Breloom. It could be Gyarados. Paraspam teams, they usually follow almost a completely set pattern. And I believe the ultra standard one is to have Machamp and Gyarados, which I believe is built by like some Brazilian dude. But at the moment, d0nut is not in a great position. He's not in a losing position. To say he's going to lose the game. Because it's way too early to call that. It's, you have two Armorville Mons, and you have a team which is, as soon as Rocks gets up, I assume Reiku, he might have a Starmie. He may have a Starmie. That's possible. But if you get Rocks up, a defensive Zapdos without a spinner, that's a lot of pressure, and Machamp is going to be a pain in the ass for Reiku to deal with. So with Gyarados. Gyarados is also a pain, because if that Zapdos gets rock chipped and paralyzed, I don't know, which I believe it was not, but it was his Zapdos that got paralyzed, but still. We're going to see a Scizor switch here, and we see a Pump doing 42. That is definitely a bulky Scizor. I think I would have went for the spin there, personally. Mostly because, rocks are not too hard to get up, and, it's fairly obvious that, he's going to go back, the second it happens. But he goes to Zapdos, and it's at 39% now, after a U-turn crit and rocks, and it's paralyzed, so this is not looking good for d0nut now, at any rate. His last, like I said, it's kind of negotiable. I don't know what his last is at the moment. It could be a Starmie. That's not exactly out of the question. It could be a Kingdra. It could be a Kingdra. Actually, it could be a Kingdra. I don't think it's a Cresselia because I think. Okay, sorry about that. Had the people since I'm at home now, people will constantly walk in on me when I'm recording videos. But we're gonna see a U-turn. Luckily, nothing happened, and he goes with a Dugtrio, which is interesting because this indicates that either he does not want to reveal his last, or his best response to a Zapdos is a CB Dugtrio, which is less than wise because he has Flygon. Okay, so his last is Machamp then, almost certainly. Actually, it could be Breloom. Actually, yeah, it's probably Breloom. His team is way too weak to Swampert. It's probably gonna have to be Breloom. So we saw that, and his best response to a Zapdos at 39% is a CB Doug. That's silly. It seems almost comical. I don't know what Reiku's last is. Like I said, I pegged it as something that, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's a bulky Starmie. It could be a Kingdra. It could still be a Kingdra. But we're gonna see Flygon come out, and it's almost definitely Breloom at this point. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, this is gonna be Scarf Flygon, and it's gonna have to be Breloom. d0nut pretty much rolled up with the most standard team I think imaginable for this game. I don't know if Zapdos is gonna be able to tank another U-turn though, so that's interesting. First of all, d0nut could go Breloom here, but honest to God, I mean, without rocks, this is not like an incredibly, you know, this is actually. He's not in a good shape because Scizor is beating Starmie. It's probably beating Flygon. Zapdos is all but dead. I think it dies to U-turn after one more switch in on the rocks here. And if his last is Breloom, I mean, he can go Breloom here and Superpower for a KO. But defensive Zapdos, if you don't have rocks in the field, which I have a feeling that Jirachi may have been carrying, yeah, no, not a good look. Not a good look. He can still win. It's not like this is an unwinnable matchup for d0nut. At the very beginning, I would say, you know, I mean, when you have a Dugtrio, you know, any team that has over-reliance on Jirachi or Tyranitar, you know, on U-turners like, you know, Zapdos or whatever, of course you are at danger of getting your ass trapped. You are immediately in danger of getting trapped. You know, that's just obvious. And he is Machamp. Okay. Why are you so weak to Swampert? I mean, I understand you have defensive Zapdos with Toxic. Like, you're not losing to Swampert. I understand you have Starmie. Again, you are not losing, like, offensively to Swampert. But, like, still, I mean, you really have a hard time coming in on it because your responses to it are pursuitable. They are subject to sand. They are subject to, you know, hazards in various ways. It's just not a good look. I think you need Breloom in the last slot here because Machamp is cool and all, and I know your team is around Paralysis, you know, Jira, me, and Zapdos. Oh, and it's Skarmory. Okay, so yeah, yeah, d0nut needs to get lucky out of his ass here. Essentially, he goes for the sub, and there's Brave Bird, so it's first of all it's faster, so the sub's already gone. I did a decent amount. No lie, I did a decent amount. I think you want to keep Skarmory here because, you know, on the off chance, you know, that Flygon starts getting cute, I don't think it's advisable that you know, let your outrage one of your outrages die. Then again, you would sweep it Bullet Punch anyway. But, you know, I don't know. You can sack this if you want. It really is just a 50-50 away. He goes out and he goes for Confusion. Okay, he goes to T-Tar. I assume he was trying to either... Well, this is actually a pretty neutral mid-ground because you're catching Zapdos if it comes in. And depending on the set, which it might be Rocks, it might be Mixed Fire Blast. It doesn't really matter. It was a fair mid-ground. I gotta say, Reiku's team is... I mean, I understand, you know, the reason why he's using it because, I mean, it's a trap-based team, but, you know, you get rid of Heatran, you get rid of Tyranitar, you know, you get rid of those core mons, and you're pretty much having a field day. However, I will say that, okay, if there is Taunt, and we're gonna see what he does, and goes to the Rocks, you switch out now. You switch out. Let me see what health me is at, because if me is not dying to EQ at 76, I don't think it is. But We're going to see what he's going to do here. You can go Pert if you want. You could even just straight up Roost. I mean, at any rate, you know, he's going to trap this, I guess, on the Suicide. There's Fire Blast, and that should kill. But now T-Tar is dead, and now Rocks, at the very least, will not be up on that side. I don't think this is going to be Shuka. So T-Tar is going to die. It was probably Lumberry. And Duck Trio is claimed, but now Zapdos can potentially heal up. So that's a plus, I guess, for d0nut. But the thing is I mean, even if this Zapdos, even with Toxic, you know, and that being such a huge annoyance, you know, d0nut is now getting fucked by Rotom Shadow Ball. He does not have a switch into it because you cannot switch in Zapdos on a Shadow Ball if it comes in on me. His own Zapdos, if he gets one para out of, you know, if he gets a para here, then the game is over. Flygon cannot beat it, Starmie cannot switch in, and Machamp is going to die. I don't think it dies with T-Bolt, but I think it dies. Yep, that's game. And that's going to be it. There is nothing d0nut can do to beat this Zapdos. He has nothing left to beat it, unless he gets... It doesn't even matter because he can't beat Scizor now, so that's going to be the game. He's going to go out to Flygon, and... I mean, this, I guess, you know, it's fine. I guess sacking T-Tar, or sacking Storm is probably the best play you can make there. Because you taunt, although... Yeah, then you trap me with, yeah, so it really does not matter. You trap it either way. Reiku is taking so much time, though, because Reiku is in such a good position. He was in a good position from the very start, yet he is constantly on this ludicrously low timer, which makes me think that there is something fishy going on here. Possibly. I'm not saying Riku's getting ghosted, but I am saying the timer is pretty fucking low for the status, you know, and there is a fucking, what the fuck? What? Something just flew incredibly low over my house, which is a plane or something. I don't know, a bunch of the birds flew off, but I can't see it because the cloud cover is pretty low as well. But that's besides the point. The point is, d0nut got destroyed here, and Reiku was taking 30 seconds per turn. Every turn, even though his, you know, game is sealed. There's not a possible way he can lose this. I mean, honest to God, there is no way he loses. You just T-Bolt here. I know you're I understand if you're maybe afraid of, like, you don't even need the Heat Wave. You don't even need the Heat Wave because there is nothing he can do. Your prediction is not going to be doing anything because I know you're afraid of a critical hit of Outrage. You go Zor here. Zapdos is dead. U-turn kills me. Bullet Punch kills Machamp. And, I mean, you go for a Suicide Spin. But then Zapdos should sweep either way. You know, you U-turn out here, and no matter what happens, me is dying. You're getting a kill here. And your Zapdos should be able to beat... Yeah, I mean, or you could SD. You know, SD here is okay, too. Although, then you're probably going to... just gonna end up U-turning. I don't really want to risk a crit or a para, so I think U-turn here is the best play. So Me's dead now. You go to Zapdos. You force Flygon to come in, or you go to Machamp and then you go Fly. I don't know. You win the game. Is what my point is here. There's no possible way that d0nut can come out of this unless he gets so ludicrously lucky that I think what he has to do is essentially get like multiple triple crits. There's the roost because you live an outrage crit there, I believe at that percentage. You can just Heat Wave here if you want, if you really want, but I mean, if you go Hurt, I mean, you're not risking a para from T-Punch. And now Ice Beam gets a kill, so that's going to be game. And this might not even be, actually, is it Fast Pert? Let's see. I mean, it's going to Ice Beam here. He gets Rocks. Why are you getting Rocks up, you... Why? Maybe he's faster than Machamp. And that's why. I mean, he wants the late game Rocks. I don't know. I would have just Ice Beam there. I mean, it really does not matter. Yeah. At all. But... yeah, Rocks there was probably... I mean, I would have just Ice Beamed. Because I'm trying to think... You know, if I was getting hasty for the kill or not. But if you Ice Beam there and he goes Machamp, you die. Or Machamp dies. If he stays in, Flygon dies and Zapdos wins. If he goes to Zapdos, you Ice Beam Zapdos, and Scizor wins. So really, it doesn't matter. I think that's Adam and Scizor also, so you don't have any worry about Machamp living. So, yeah, that's the game. I don't know why he bothered going for Rocks there. Going for Ice Beam got you the win. No matter what, Machamp did not substitute anyway. And unless you're worried about Zapdos healing up and you get confused, I don't know.